All right, y'all. Look, we are here for one thing. We're trying to get a reaction from the voice after we heard something crazy on social media. It's really that simple. It's not really deep. It's I heard something ridiculous on Instagram and scrolled past Oscar De La Hoya giving Canelo the business. And when I heard it, I was like, yo, I need some perspective. And who do I go to for perspective whenever it's boxing or any combat sport? It's the voice. The answer is very simple. I go to the voice. I say, hey, voice, you got 5 minutes, bro? I need to ask you some questions about the history behind the beef I just saw unfold on my Instagram feed. It's really that simple. That's what it is. What it's all about. So, voice, thank you for being here, yo. The man, the myth, the legend of voice is here. Voice, yo. I want to play this joint for you, right? First off, I know you've seen it already, right? But I still want to play it for you. Get your live reaction, and then from there, ask some questions, man, that most fans might have. How you feel about it?
I feel good.
Awesome. Let's do it, bro.
Change the fact that Golden Boy built Canelo Alvarez, period. The company you fought under for decades has always had one name, and it's mine. So put some respect on it. As for Jaime, he has always dared to be great, just as he's this Saturday night. And this serves as a bit of a full circle for him. Remember when Jaime was 21 years old, volunteered to step in against Triple G, and Canelo failed 2 drug tests? Though Jaime wasn't allowed to fulfill his 2018, on Saturday night, he will do just that, fulfill his dream and be world champion.
Tienen que escribirle lo que tiene que decir este pinche. Tú no escribes, ¿qué no escribes? Tú no escribes nada, cabrón.
Beef voice.
Yes.
Man. What's your reaction to that, man? You first saw it. What was your reaction?
I was like, ooh, okay. Everything that has been happening privately as well as publicly. I mean, because it's known that they don't get along. Oscar has been kind of throwing shots in the media for a little while at Canelo. So, but for him to just come out and say, look, put some, pull a bird, man, put some respect on my name. I was like, okay, all right. He he also admitted some things again that were not closely held secrets. He talked about his mental health, his much of the reason that Canelo left. Well, a couple of reasons that he left, but a good part of it had to do with Oscar's Oscar just being absent.
Mm.
And a lot of that had to do with the fact that he was a raging drunk. Like it was well known that Oscar was drinking hard. We already know about some stuff back in the day when he was fighting, doing cocaine with women's lingerie and fishnets and stuff on. But it's been said that he's been, he had been drinking really heavily, and that's the reason why you hadn't seen him at a lot of different things. He's been better as of late. You've seen him out there more, and Oscar's been feeling himself. Canelo is not the only person that he's beefing with, and actually, this is an extended beef. He's been going back and forth over the past couple of days with Eddie Hearn. So, no one's going to come into my town and take over, and so forth and so on. And most people thought he was talking about Turkey because it happened just after Turkey Al-Sheikh made the card there in LA. Then all of this talk started happening, but it really was about Eddie Hearn. And this beef goes a little deeper. So, I mean, it's almost a proxy war in a sense. Because, and I don't know if Eddie Hearn is a proxy or if Canelo is a proxy, honestly, but it's deeper than what we see. We see a hurt man in De La Hoya, a man who is admittedly a fighter, and he's just been fighting a lot lately with his words. He's upset because his cash cow, Canelo, left. But Canelo left because of Oscar's inability to make some things happen.
Mm.
Back when the Zone launched in the US, and I want to say it was around 2017, 2018. Actually, hold on. I can I can drill down a bit more because I was one of the subscribers initially. They kept going up on that rate. So the Zone, you want to get the people back on board, yeah, kind of help a brother out, please. Um, but anyway, when they launched, like I said, it was around 2017, 2018. They mentioned a $1 billion deal with Matchroom Boxing, and that's when Matchroom start making its move into the U.S. Um, they signed the deal with Matchroom. Matchroom started working. Then the Zone signed a deal with Golden Boy.
Mm.
As soon as they got the deal with Golden Boy, Canelo reportedly had this like 360 some odd $1 million deal with Golden Boy through the Zone. I want to say it was like 350, 360, somewhere in there.
Mm.
And he was supposed to be making like 35 million a fight guaranteed. Yeah, it was right around 2018 because his first fight on the Zone was in December of 2018. This is right after his second bout with Golovkin, and he faced Rocky Field, and that's the first time he fought at 168 pounds. But again, where this comes from is Golden Boy, and he split because they couldn't get him the money for the fights.
Mm.
They couldn't get him the money for the fights, partially because the pandemic had happened.
Mm.
And it was hard. The Zone really took a hard hit. I mean, everybody in the live events space took a hit. So, the Zone took a hit because they could not, they were having trouble with booking shows. And the people that Canelo wanted to fight, they didn't want to pay for. Like I said, when they got in the business in the US, they signed Matchroom for $1 billion. They signed with Golden Boy. But guess who else they signed as soon as they signed Golden Boy? They signed a promotional deal with Triple G. So we just knew, it was like, oh, bet. Triple G signed, Golden Boy signed. You got both of them on the same network. Triple G and Canelo 3 is coming. And Canelo was like, no, because Canelo was mad. He's
Mm.
still mad. He talked about what's the name? Talked about that drug test, Oscar. That's still a really, really sore subject for Canelo. This is the reason why he did not want to fight Triple G, because Triple G called him out. It was like, you a drug cheat, and all this stuff. And he did not want to even make money with Triple G. So he
Mm.
fought Rocky Fielding and got a championship at 168. Then he dropped back down to 160 and fought Daniel Jacobs. Then he went up to 175 to fight Kovalev and got another championship. But that's where things stopped. He wanted, I forget who he wanted to fight. But it wasn't Triple G. And that's what DAZN wanted. They were like, look, we're giving you all this money because we want that Triple G fight. And Canelo was like, well, I don't want the Triple G fight. And really what the issue is, the promotional arrangement was with DAZN and Golden Boy. Golden Boy represented him being Canelo, but Canelo didn't know that with this big deal that Triple G was on the table. He was like, no, I don't. That's not what I want to do. Now, outside looking in, again, they signed Golden Boy. They signed Triple G. You just fought Triple G. The first fight was a draw. A trilogy just makes sense. Why wouldn't you think that this was going to happen? But either way it goes, Canelo was the biggest person in boxing. He knew that he carried weight. So he left, or he was able to get out of his contract with Golden Boy. Um, And we thought it was just get away from the zone. It's like, no, I just want to get away from Oscar, because his
Mhm.
very next fight since then, Eddie Hearn has been representing him. His very next fight was on the zone, but it was with Callum Smith, someone that we wanted to see him fight. So he fought Callum Smith, beat him. Then he started taking, soft touches again, fought Yildirim, which that shouldn't have happened, but it was a mandatory, so it happened. Fought Billy Joe Saunders. That was still kind of questionable because of Billy Joe's past. But yet he was undefeated at the time that they fought each other and a champion. So that made sense. And then he went on to start fighting your plants and your beavals and your people of that nature. But that's really where all of this stems from. And like I said, Oscar has been spicy. He's been talking big lately ever since Ryan won, because he had issues with Ryan as well. And many of his issues with Ryan started with Canelo. So
Mm.
Canelo, or I should say Ryan, was trying to be like Canelo Jr. He was using Canelo's trainers and all up in Canelo's face. And then he kind of broke away because Ryan wanted to do what Ryan wanted to do. And Canelo's trainer was like, no, you're going to have to show up and train. You can't just do what you want to do. But, a lot of Ryan's um, talking came because of his association with Canelo. That's how he got the contract that he got with Golden Boy. And it's a good thing that they locked him in, and they locked him in the way that they did, because he's the hottest thing going right now, even bigger than Canelo, and they needed someone to carry them into the future.
So it seems like I had a few different questions as you.
Sorry, because I just went in for a long time. I'm sorry about that.
No, you're good. I had a few different questions. One was, you mentioned a few light touches for Canelo, right? And that may seem to rub some Canelo fans the wrong way. Do you believe? Because I think we've talked about it at some point. Some legends questioning, Canelo's toughness a little bit. Do you think he's been taking some light touches as of late?
Yeah, he had. I mean, uh, Avni Yildirim, if anyone said that wasn't a light touch, you're just lying to yourself, because you're not lying to anybody else. Him fighting Triple G the second time, that was a light touch, because not only was he fighting a shop worn Triple G, a Triple G that had not been the same since his fight with Derevyanchenko. He's fighting him at 168. Now I know Triple G has just knocked out somebody right before the fight, but it's like, come on, this is you waited till he got older, and now you're having a fight at a weight class that he just never fought at. He really stacked the deck in his favor, which that's a part of the game. The game is to make it as advantageous for yourself as possible, and he did that. Then he fought John Ryder, another light touch, and Ryder was in there though. He was in it to win it. He got dropped, but Canelo did not stop him because of Ryder's heart. Who did stop Ryder is the man who he's facing, which is Jaime Munguia, because Jaime Munguia, as I shared on the main card, he wanted to show anything you can do, Canelo, I can do better. And that's why he stopped him instead of taking him the distance the way that Canelo did. But yeah, he's had some light touches. Jermell Charlo was a light touch. Once again, fighting someone who's way under weight class wise. This man is a champion at 154. He's coming up 2 weight classes. I can see if it was Jermall Charlo, because he's fighting at 160, coming up 1. But Jermell, when that fight got made, we were like, huh? That doesn't make sense. Again, another situation where he got into a contract with a company and got his way out of it. He's no longer with PBC, even though PBC, or I should say, we don't know if he's with PBC or not. We know the PBC is co-promoting this fight, but DAZN is also showing it. So, is we don't know what I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, he's had light touches.
Okay.
Some might say that Munguia is a light touch. I don't think he is, but some may say that, and really, it's going to depend after this is over because Munguia's defense is suspect.
But
And
people want to see Canelo fight somebody. Who is that?
well, Munguia is a fight. Don't get me wrong. Munguia is a fight. Who they want to see, who the world wants to see Canelo fight, is Benavidez, and Canelo doesn't want
Mm,
that fight. Same kind of situation that we had with Triple G. I mean, he has done everything to say, I don't want that fight.
mm. So he's kind of running from that. Okay, now here's the question I do have to ask though. Um, why now for Oscar? Like, why at this moment did he think he's selling the fight? Right, he's selling the fight. He's adding more drama. He's adding more intrigue. Why does Oscar feel like right now is the time where I need to address or air out all my issues or all my problems with Canelo?
When has he had a chance to before?
I'm pretty sure they have each other's contact information.
Just because you have contact information doesn't mean that people are taking calls. One of the beautiful things about the way that technology works today, specifically when it comes to phone calls and things of that nature, is that everything's done on your cell phone. Now, granted, I know that I'm sure Oscar has a phone in his office or whatever, but everything's done by cell phone. And it's real easy to block somebody on your cell phone or just ignore the call altogether. So, and who's to say that there haven't been conversations like that? But this is the first time that there has been a promotion where Golden Boy has been associated with Canelo since he left. So this was the perfect time. He felt like it was a perfect time for him because it's the first time he's had an opportunity to be in a public place with Canelo, for a second time. Now, the whole selling of the fight and things of that nature. I mean, we're doing an immediate reaction for a reason. It is helping to sell the fight. It definitely is. And again, he being De La Hoya has been on a tear lately, just kind of just popping off of the mouth quite a bit. So
That's true.
it's just part and parcel with who he is, but really the time is now is because he hasn't had a chance to be in the room with him like this for years now, ever since uh his fight with Callum Smith, and that was 4 years ago.
So this is an on-site situation. This is basically first time I see you, I'm gonna air it out.
Pretty much. First opportunity I get to say something, I'm gonna say something. And as you see, it rubbed Canelo so wrong that he had to get up out of his seat to address the situation. And I know we were talking before we recorded this, and I was asking you about Spanish. Fortunately, whoever did
Did
the
know
editing
Spanish,
job
yeah.
on, yes, they did know Spanish because all of the stuff that I heard Canelo saying, I don't speak Spanish, but I do speak. I do know enough about it to know what words not to say. So, and it was a whole lot of those words, which is the reason why we talked about. He was like, I really didn't hear Canelo talk. It's because I had to keep bleeping him.
Yeah, they did a good job of that. Okay, so what happens from here, bro? With these two, you got, Canelo, you got the legend and Golden Boy. The funny part is what I love about this is that Oscar was not afraid to say this with Canelo right there. He was not afraid, and he kept talking and he kept killing them. Like it was like a diss track delivered in your face. It's like a battle rap scene at this point. And I love the fact that he did not stop, even though Canelo kept talking, right? So it kind of makes me feel like if Oscar felt that they had to go toe to toe live and in person, somebody was gonna break it up before he got exposed, right? So I kind of felt like that. But
I don't know if
what?
he was thinking that. Again, Oscar's a fighter.
Yeah,
So
Oscar. So you think?
and here's the thing. You've heard me say this on the main card many times.
Mm-hmm.
To be a professional fighter at the highest levels, you have to have a certain level of delusion.
Mm.
And I believe that, well, I know that Oscar fought at some of the highest levels. So he has that delusion. And, he probably thinks, oh, okay, come on. I'll take you on. And again, with being a fighter and knowing that you lose sometimes, but you're not necessarily afraid to lose a fight as long as you're in the fight. And
Okay.
he feels, I don't care win or lose, let's go. It's like, I have a chance. I got that puncher's chance.
He does. So, Voyze, what happens from here?
More pay-per-view buys, more talk about this. This was today. Today was, it may have been the last press conference, but they're going to have the official weigh-ins. And they're going to have these other things. Will it be Bernard up there versus Oscar because of what's going on? There's going to be a lot more drama and a lot more discussion about this. And God forbid, for Canelo's sake, God forbid that Jaime Munguia wins. You are not going to hear the end of it from Oscar De La Hoya. He already buzzed him out, say when you failed 2 drug tests, Jaime was ready to step up, and now he gets a chance. He finally gets his chance. Yeah, let Jaime Munguia win, because Canelo again has been victorious, but you can see that time is starting to get the better of him. The John Ryder fight was proof positive of that. There's no way that John Ryder should have made it to the final bell. No way. But this is a different Canelo. He hurt. He hurt Charlo, and then Charlo, was running. He really probably should have got Charlo out of there too. Again, you fight a 154-pounder, and you are someone who has won titles, multiple titles, at 175 pounds. So, yeah, again, Time is undefeated. Father Time is undefeated. And it seems as if he's getting closer and closer to Canelo. So who knows what happens?
Only Floyd Mayweather has beat Time. Yo, so thank you, Voyze. I appreciate you for jumping on this, bro. Like, honestly, I couldn't wait to talk to you about it, because when I heard it, I was just flabbergasted. Like, I couldn't believe that Oscar would do that in public. You know what I mean? It's funny because it just seems to be that age where people are just coming out of their face with all kind of stuff. You can hear Drake and Kendrick going back and forth, right? The last thing I thought I'd see today was Oscar De La Hoya losing it on mic with Canelo sitting right next to him. But that was amazing. So thank you for breaking it down for us, bro. We appreciate you. Voyze, tell people how they can find you, man, and why they need to follow you, especially when these fights really pop off.
You can find me at The Voyze on all platforms, TikTok, IG, X, wherever. You'll find me at THAVOYZE.
And they can also find you every single week on on X. I hate saying on X, on Twitter, right? On live on Twitter. He goes there every week. Tuesday nights, right? You can catch him Tuesday nights. Normally, the guy who's sitting right here is the one and only Mr. Wildress Ruffin. And so when it's next Tuesday and you want to know kind of what happened, how it all went down, and you want a preview of next week's fights, The Voyze has you. All right, y'all. God bless you. We love you. We out.